A BWL employee is fired after officials say he misused a company credit card to the tune of thousands of dollars. It's our top story at 6. Thanks for joining us. I'm Sherry Jones.
And I'm Siobhan Klepfer. He was supposed to be the guy in charge of making sure the Lansing Board of Water and Light spent its money wisely.
Instead, the BWL fired its former internal auditor earlier this year after 2 investigations found evidence of misusing a company credit card.
Digital reporter Todd Haywood and our Josh Sanchez has been working this story for months. Josh is here now to break down what they found in this 6 News exclusive. Josh.
Well, Sherry, Siobhan, we obtain hundreds of pages of internal documents, and they spell everything from numerous meals to unauthorized travel to Chicago and a Disney resort. And tonight we take a deeper dive into how much was spent and how this happened. Back in May 2022, Frank Machoka joined BWL as the utility's internal auditor. It was his job to review practices, policies, and procedures and make sure the company spent its money properly. But over the course of around 8 months, records obtained by 6 News show Machoka used a company credit card for what the board later called unauthorized food, travel, and school costs. An internal investigation found 10 separate violations of BWL policy. That included multiple meals where he ate alone or claimed BWL officials were at the table when they say they were not. Ratepayers were left with more than $30,000 in credit card charges. More than $3,000 were spent on food. More than $600 at Bravo. Nearly $780 at the Rusty Mug right across the street from BWL headquarters in Riotown. More than $140 at Blue Owl Coffee, just to name a few places. In Machoka's contract, BWL agreed to cover the cost of classes at Michigan State University to brush up on auditing, licensing and bar membership fees in 3 states, and $20,000 to help cover the cost of moving from Lancaster, Pennsylvania to Michigan. But BWL policy states Machoka was supposed to pay for classes and get reimbursed, not charge them to his credit card. While Machoka started using the credit card when he was hired in May of 2022, emails show the costs didn't become an issue until receipts were finally reviewed by a member of BWL's board in February of 2023. Machoka only reports to the board, not BWL General Manager Dick Peffley. The board then hired a law firm to do an outside investigation to review the credit card use. That investigation cost BWL another $30,000. We reached commissioners multiple times, including during last month's Board of Commissioners meeting. Vice Chair David Price says the issue is a personnel matter and that policies have since been fixed. BWL Chair Simone James was escorted into the meeting by security and did not stop to take questions. This week, a spokesperson representing board members say commissioners consider the matter closed, but the case doesn't sit well with governmental ethics expert John Pelissaro. He reviewed the records at our request.
This is the auditor that was hired by the board to oversee the proper use of funds, and for that individual to violate the public trust should raise very important questions in the minds of the citizens of Lansing.
Now, Machoka was fired back in May by the board, and it doesn't appear that BWL made any effort to try and get any of the money back. Now, we did reach out to get in touch with Machoka, who moved back to Pennsylvania, but he declined to be interviewed. Meanwhile, BWL commissioners are expected to vote to hire a new internal auditor tomorrow.
Now, Josh, have there been any changes at BWL since this happened? Well,
in the months following Machoka's firing, commissioners have passed a revised fraud prevention policy and credit card policy, and they even slashed the amount the auditor could spend from $25,000 a month to $10,000 a month. And the person who served as the chair of the Finance Committee during this time stepped down over the summer.
The Lansing mayor and the city council appoint many members of the BWL board. What are they saying about this?
Now, some of the council members that I did talk to over the last few days, they say that they have the same questions, like how did this go on for so long, and is there any plan to get the money back? And we'll have more from city leaders at 6 News at 11. And we'll have more on the story, including some of those documents at WLNS.com.
All right, thank you, Josh.